The ceremony will now begin. The Honorable William Brent Christensen, Director of the Taipei Office of the American Institute in Taiwan, has made extraordinary efforts to enhance bilateral relations between the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the United States of America. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, Taiwan, in accordance with the regulations governing the awarding of medals, hereby confers upon Director Christensen the Grand Medal of Diplomacy in recognition of his remarkable contributions. Given in Taipei on the 24th day of the 6th month of the 110th year of the Republic of China, corresponding to the 24th day of the 6th month of the year 2021 in the Gregorian calendar. Minister of Foreign Affairs Joseph will now confer the Grand Medal of Diplomacy on Director Christensen. Deputy Director Greene, please come forward. Mr. Raymond Greene, Deputy Director of the Taipei Office of the American Institute in Taiwan, has made extraordinary efforts to enhance bilateral relations between the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the United States of America. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, Taiwan, in accordance with the regulations governing the awarding of medals, hereby confers upon Mr. Greene the Friendship Medal of Diplomacy in recognition of his remarkable contributions. Given in Taipei on the 24th day of the 6th month of the 110th year of the Republic of China, corresponding to the 24th day of the 6th month of the year 2021 in the Gregorian calendar. Minister Wu will now confer the Friendship Medal of Diplomacy on Deputy Director Greene. Deputy Director Greene, please return. Minister Wu will now deliver his remarks.
Brent and Brenda, Ray and Yahweh, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is my great privilege to confer the Grand Medal of Diplomacy upon AIT Director Brent Christensen and the Friendship Medal of Diplomacy upon AIT Deputy Director Raymond Greene. We thereby recognize their remarkable contributions to furthering substantive bilateral relations between Taiwan and the United States. Under the leadership of Brent and Ray at AIT, relations between our two countries have reached new heights. Over the past 3 years, they have worked tirelessly to promote the security, economic, cultural, and people-to-people ties between our two countries. Together, we have launched many new institutionalized mechanisms covering the full range of issues and expanded our collaboration through the Global Cooperation and Training Framework, or GCPF. In fact, I can hardly think of an issue area where Taiwan and the U.S. haven't worked together on. This truly reflects the fact that our close bilateral ties between the two countries have blossomed into a global strategic partnership. Just over the past weekend, we received a generous donation of 2.5 million doses of maternal vaccines from the U.S. government. This heartwarming gesture of solidarity could not have been more timely. We thank the AIT team for facilitating the quick delivery of the vaccines to Taiwan. As we face a surge in COVID-19 cases, your actions have shown to the people of Taiwan and the world that Taiwan is not fighting the pandemic alone. Brent and Ray, as you accept this medal, I hope you will always remember and cherish your days working with us in pursuit of our shared causes. You both have become close friends to many of us, including the President, and of course you are now my personal and family friends. I first met Brent in 2011 when I visited Washington, D.C. A year later, Brent became the AIT Deputy Director, and our working relations went further with each other. I like to think we have a special relationship that was meant to be elementary. We will call that 缘分. And I think it's just not limited to me, Caroline, to you and Brenda. It's also carry on to Joe, the young Christensen, who is also in foreign service for your information, and he represents the future of American foreign policy. And with Ray, we met and worked very well with each other when I was at the Mainland Affairs Council, and you were the Deputy Political Chief at AIT. Your dedication, creativity, and outstanding performance have won many plaudits. We certainly look forward to welcoming you back to Taiwan in the future, but before that, I'm sure we will enjoy working with each other at your new assignment. And in order to show my appreciation to Ray, I'm wearing the green tie today. I also want to acknowledge Brenda and Yawen, who are here with us today. Diplomacy is a very demanding job, and Brent and Ray's extraordinary work at AIT would not have been possible without your support. So thank you both. Brent and Ray, I would like to once again extend my most sincere congratulations to you for receiving this much-deserved recognition. I wish both of you every success as you move forward to the next stage of your careers. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving our good friends a very warm round of applause.
I would like to invite Director Christensen to say a few words.
For Minister Wu, colleagues and friends, or Joseph, I should tell you Joseph. Thank you so much for the very kind words that you have given today, or for the honor to receive this award. As I prepare to leave Taiwan, I'm reminded of the first time I arrived here over 40 years ago, when Taiwan had yet to become the economic powerhouse, democratic success story that it is today. It was my early experience as a missionary in Taiwan that later inspired me to join the Foreign Service. Fortunately, I was able to return to Taiwan for my first Foreign Service assignment as a visa officer at AIT. Then, some years later, served as the director of the Taiwan Coordination Office, followed by my assignments as Deputy AIT Director, and finally, as AIT Director. Each of these assignments has given me an opportunity to observe the continued progress of the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. When we were celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Taiwan Relations Act in 2019, I could often refer to my own 40 years of history on Taiwan. When I first joined the Foreign Service, I had no idea that I would be able to return again and again to Taiwan. But I'm very grateful for the UN fund that kept bringing me back. As I've said before, being the AIT Director was my dream job. And my experience over the past 3 years has exceeded my expectations in every way. Upon arriving in Taiwan to be the AIT Director, I announced my 4 priorities, also known as my 4个政绩。增进美台安全合作，增进美台经济与商业关系，增进 台湾在全球社会的角色，增进美台人民的关系。To me, these are the most crucial elements of the U.S.-Taiwan partnership, and I'm very pleased that we have achieved so much over the past 3 years in every one of these areas. I was especially happy, as Joseph has indicated, that we were able to see the arrival of 2.5 million doses of Moderna vaccine in Taiwan on Sunday as a donation from the United States to Taiwan in its hour of need, which also allowed us to reciprocate Taiwan's generous donation of millions of face masks and other medical supplies during the darkest days of the U.S. pandemic. And we have been very touched by the numerous expressions of gratitude we have received from the Taiwan people. Notes, flowers, and messages of thanks on the Grand Hotel in Taipei 101. Another goal of mine before I left was to see the resumption of the U.S.-Taiwan Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, or TIFA talks. I'm very pleased that these talks will be held in the very near future. I would like to acknowledge the many contributions of my colleagues at AIT, and especially those of my friend at AIT, Deputy Director Raymond Greene, who also has a deep knowledge of Taiwan and a strong commitment to the relationship. I would also like to express my heartfelt appreciation to my wife Brenda for her unwavering love and support during these past 3 years. But I would also like to recognize the vital role of Foreign Minister Wu. His vision, his innovative ideas, his energy, these were all essential to everything we have accomplished together. Minister Wu, Joseph, in the various roles you have played in the Taiwan government, whether as Foreign Minister, National Security Advisor, Secretary General of the President's Office, Chief Representative of TECRO in Washington, D.C., or as Secretary General of the DPP, you have tirelessly pursued stronger ties with the United States, and with impressive success. Minister Wu, Joseph, I salute you and your team for the outstanding work you have done to strengthen the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. We could not have asked for a better partner. And I thank you for your steadfast support and friendship throughout my assignment as the AIT Director. Thank you so much for this award. It is a distinct honor for me to receive it. Thank you very much.
We would like to invite Deputy Director Greene to say a few words.
Let me begin by thanking Foreign Minister Wu, not only for this gracious honor, but for everything you've done, you and your MOFA team have done to enhance the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. We at AIT could not have asked for better partners to advance our shared interests and values across the Indo-Pacific and around the world. It was almost exactly 19 years ago when I started my first assignment at AIT. My counterpart, Secretary General, soon-to-be MAC Minister Joseph Wu. It was great to come back 7 years later to work together with old friends again. But our interactions these last 3 years have been totally different than our past experience. When I first worked with Joseph and Harry, everything we did was related back to cross-strait relations and talking about how Taiwan fit into the broader U.S.-China relationship. In contrast, these past few years, our efforts have been overwhelmingly focused on deepening the bilateral U.S.-Taiwan relationship and working together to help other countries develop their economies and democratic institutions. I've lost count of how many meetings the Director and I have had with our Taiwan partners where the word China never even came up. This reflects a fundamental change in the nature of the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. The United States no longer sees Taiwan as a problem in our relations with China. We see it as an opportunity to advance our shared vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific, and also as a beacon to people around the world who aspire to work for a more just, safe, prosperous, and democratic world. This has enabled us to focus our energies on building secure and resilient supply chains through our economic prosperity partnership dialogue, enhancing international law enforcement and public health through the Global Cooperation and Training Framework, and tackling climate change through the U.S.-Taiwan International Environmental Partnership. President Biden recently highlighted our Coast Guard cooperation, which is protecting our fragile ocean environment and enhancing regional security. We're also exchanging hundreds of students and teachers under the U.S.-Taiwan Education Initiative. These are the things that have kept AIT and WUFA so busy these past 3 years. The most intense periods for both of us were also the most rewarding. First was last spring, when Taiwan donated millions of masks and medical supplies to the United States, all of it via our AIT warehouse in Naples, when America was hit by the first wave of COVID. Second came the past few weeks as we worked to deliver 2.5 million Moderna vaccines to Taiwan in its most urgent hour of need. Our AIT and WUFA teams worked together around the clock to make both of these achievements happen, and did so proudly, knowing that we were saving our friends. I'll be leaving Taiwan for Japan next week, but unfortunately will not be leaving the relationship. In fact, I look forward to contributing to the already strong momentum in U.S., Taiwan, Japan trilateral cooperation. What I will miss are all of the friends and partners here at WUFA and AIT. I feel especially fortunate to have been able to work these past 2 years with Dr. Christensen. We share a love for Taiwan and its people, and a passion for the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. I could not have asked for a better boss, mentor, and partner. Minister Mukjoseph, let me thank you once again for this prestigious medal. I accept it on behalf of both of our teams for their hard work and achievements in advancing the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. Thank you very much.
Now, we would like to invite Minister Wu, Mr. and Mrs. Christensen, and Mr. and Mrs. Greene to take a photograph together. This concludes the ceremony. Thank you. 直播典礼结束，谢谢。